seat at the table. So in other words, you won't disrespect us. You can't just kill us. You're not going to violate our rights.
Listen, do me a favor. See those. Can you hear me, Robert? Because
I can hear you.
I'm getting an echo feedback. It's
All right.
weird. Maybe it's
I'm ready to do my intro now.
okay.
Hello, y'all. This is Tiger from 106 Keep It a Bean. How's my 106 Keep It a Bean family doing out there, man? You know, I love chopping it up with you guys. You know, I love spending time with you. You know what we do here at 106 Keep It a Bean. We keep it funky, guys, and you know we're always going to keep it fresh, man. I'm just happy to be here. I really, really, really am, man. You know, I love these therapy sessions. I need them. So I thank you for that. You know, my hope and prayer is that you guys out there get something from these episodes as well. I always say, spend a little time with me, walk with me, and just kind of see where these episodes are going to go. I'm just happy, man. I'm excited to introduce uh, this guest that I have. I reached out. I happened to see her on social media, and I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, would you mind coming on 106 Keep It a Bean?" And she agreed to. Uh, so I did a little research, give her a little intro, and we're going to get right into this thing. She's a corporate wellness coach, a safe space influencer, a keynote speaker. And I want to read a statement that I think that kind of encapsulate or paints a picture of kind of what she cares about and what she does. She's passionate about guiding empty nesters, midlife individuals who are ready to break free from toxic environments and step into a life of clarity, balance, and emotional freedom. Without further ado, Tiger from 106 Keep It a Bean would love to introduce Nicole Bozeman. Excited?
Hey, I'm sideways right
Yeah,
now.
what happened?
I don't
That's maybe. I don't know what just happened. That's maybe. Let's reset this thing. I don't know what happened. Did I
You were
hit?
talking, I was fine, and all of a sudden it just
Did I hit something? Did I
do I
hit
need to
something?
turn my iPad around?
Yeah, try that. Try that. See
Okay,
that.
let me do it
'Cause
this
I don't. There you go.
way. Oh,
Okay. Maybe.
okay.
Okay, we're good. Excited to have you
Keep
here.
it real. This is what happens when you deal with technology,
Yeah,
right?
definitely,
And you
definitely.
can
I
hear some
apologize that
tickle.
for that. So excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I am so honored and excited to be here and a part of your podcast, your audience. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. I do this with everybody in a couple of sentences, other than what we heard about a little bit about you. In a couple of sentences, kind of tell me a little bit about who Nicole is.
Wow. Nicole is a healer. She's an empath. I have gone on this healing journey to heal my inner child. I realized that as I was coming into my decade of life, hitting that 60s, that there were things about me that needed to heal. And I found myself
Okay.
turning into myself and asking myself some really hard questions. And I felt like I had to do this work for me. And so I started this journey. It started back in like 2019. And so when COVID hit, it kind of really took in it busted
Okay.
everything open as it did for everybody. I dealt with grief, uh, grief of losing relationships, losing myself and my identity. So I've been on this journey for a minute, and I became certified as a life health and wellness through it all. And
Okay.
so I'm in this space where I'm ready to share my story and really be that space so that others can feel seen, heard, and
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I noticed that you and Kendra and
mm-hmm,
Robin, you guys wrote a
mm-hmm.
book called
Yes.
Shift Happens. Now, I keep wanting to say shit happens. Excuse
Right.
me, but shift happens.
Because shit does happen when you're shifting.
Yeah. So,
Let's keep it
so
a
can
buck.
you? So the title of our episode is called "Shifting in Your 60s."
Mm-hmm.
So, can you tell us a little bit? What does that mean, shifting? What do you mean?
It is in our minds, it's in our beliefs, in our habits. Okay, as we're getting older, right? This is something I started to say. I remember my mom and my grandmother and my aunties and uncles when they were in their, older, and we're looking at them thinking like, oh man, you guys are old, like, ooh, okay.
Mm.
But now I say we've become them. We're that them generation. We're
o-
not having to deal with, how our bodies are responding to ourselves, our belief system, our relationships. Many of our playground relationships are now in the grave.
Okay.
So, and we were just talking about that right before we came on here. So
Yeah.
we're dealing with a portion of survivor's remorse
Okay.
because we're still living, and many of our friends are no longer. And so now we're trying to figure out how do we show up. You're realizing that how we think about things has shifted and changed. How we feel about people has shifted and changed. Our bodies have shifted and changed. My eating habits, my sleep habits, what I want, my love language has shifted.
Okay.
So how we think about things have shifted. How I was in my 20s and 30s is not how I am in my 50s,
Gotcha.
period. And it's not.
Gotcha. So now that you and I are in our 60s,
Hmm.
so we're shifting in our 60s. What should we expect? What should we be looking for? What should we be experiencing? What should we
Okay, hold on. Let me fan myself a minute. Woo. First of all, we need to deal with that. That
Gotcha.
our bodies are actually changing, and things that we used to do in our younger years, younger generation, when we were 20s and 30s and 40s, we don't do anymore, or we've changed how we've done it. We have to give ourselves permission to explore
Hmm.
these new desires that our bodies are having. Like for me, when I started coming to menopause, okay, I realized, okay, hold up now. These temperature changes are taking place. My hair was changing. My body was changing.
Okay.
My eating habits were changing. Things I used to like, I can't do no more. Like I used to be a perfume girl. When I
Okay.
would go into Bath and Body Works, baby, they knew they was eating at least 200, at least $200
Wow.
worth of spending at
Okay.
minimum. Like on the
Okay.
candles, everything.
Gotcha.
When I stepped into my 50s, I got 55, between 55 and like 59, I would walk past that place and get nauseous.
Okay. Whoa.
I could I couldn't do candles. My body couldn't take my sense of smell was changing. I couldn't do
Hmm.
perfumes anymore. It
Hmm.
made me sick and nauseated.
Okay.
However, I could drink coffee, and I was never a coffee drinker. Like never.
Wow. So
Right?
so
Little things, the
so
tweaks.
so is this kind of like, every 5 years we change? Is
Yes.
that kind of like is that kind of like the same thing where when you're
Yes,
saying
it
shifts
is. It
happen?
is. It is. It really
Okay.
is. And you know what I also realized too is that my desires for relationships and what I needed from them have
Oh.
also changed.
Okay. All right.
My love language has changed.
Okay.
Our bodies have changed. We're dealing with stress and
Mhm.
anxiety that we didn't realize we're dealing with. And we have to be okay in allowing that shift to take place and reevaluating
Okay.
a lot of our beliefs and our behaviors when we step into our 60s. Because we don't do the same things we
So
did back
so
when we were
so
40s.
the shifting or changing means that I'm getting older and grumpier and I just
No, and see,
you know what I mean?
that's it, and I do know what you mean, but no, that's not what it is. What it is that what I needed when I was my 40s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, I don't necessarily need anymore.
Okay.
It looks different.
Okay.
Right? The
Yeah.
requirements for my relationships are different. We're starting to use words like boundaries. We're becoming empty nesters. So the
Okay.
love that we have for our children, we now have this love. Our kids don't need this anymore. So we're looking around thinking, okay, where do I take all this love I have? So you
Gotcha.
want to start looking at your relationship, thinking like,
Hmm.
man, we were friends for 30, 40 years, but now you get on my damn nerves. Ooh. And we have to be okay with that too,
I
right?
got you. I
So
got
it's
you. I
it's
got you.
it's it's a lot. It is.
Wow. So this is what we should expect. We're changing.
Yes. Yes.
We're evolving and becoming better and different and
Yes.
new experiences and
Absolutely.
shift happen.
Absolutely. Shift happens. And
Uh,
look, here's the thing. Remember when we were coming up and we were going through puberty? We
yes.
were all excited, like, ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh, ooh,
Definitely.
right? We're
Yeah.
having these conversations. We're
Yeah.
looking forward to all of this new changes that our bodies are
Yes.
going through, and we're
Emotionally,
excited
physically.
about it. But when we get into our 50s and 60s, why do we get so sad and depressed?
Yeah.
Oh my God, back aches, body aches, hip aches, head aches, everything, right? We start talking
Gotcha.
about words like arthritis, high
Yeah.
blood pressure, cholesterol.
Yes.
It's no different then than it is now. The issue is, I think one of the concerns we deal with in this new thing, when we come into our 60s, is that we were expected to have the same reaction, response, and experience that we had when we were in our 30s, 40s.
Okay.
We're looking for the same thing to come out of people when we are changing. In
Okay.
our mental space, we're changing.
Okay.
We don't think the same way we used to think anymore. We don't.
No, we don't.
Right? We have to be okay. Our sex
Yeah.
life is changing.
Yes.
Mm.
Because remember I told you I said I turned 60 in September, and it wasn't until like maybe mid October I really started to it really started hitting me. Wow,
Right.
you're 60 now, bro. Like you got to accept that, and you're gonna have to live with
Yeah.
that. You're gonna have to
Right.
change some things and look at the world differently. Look at yourself differently.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can't do some of the things you used to do when you were 20 and 30 and 40. You're 60 now. Even the world is looking at you differently now.
Abs. Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, my
That
youngest
right
daughter, that
there.
like a little bit after that, she called me. She's like, "Dad, you know what? You're old." I said, "What? What do you
That
mean?
part.
I said, "What do you mean I'm old? I'm 60. What are you talking about? I'm not
I'm
old.
just getting started.
Yeah, I feel good."
Right. But what
But
does that look like? How do
yeah,
we show up in this
yeah,
space, right? We
yeah,
we because remember we came a generation where we were always, and everybody does this, when you're coming into your youth and your working years and
yes,
30s and 40s, right? We show up with for the needs of other people.
definitely,
When we come into our 60s, we now have to show up for ourselves,
yes,
and it looks way different.
yeah. You're right. You're right. Because
Yeah, it looks
I remember you said we are them now.
yes,
We are our grandparents now and our aunts now that we're
right.
we
We
are
like,
them.
baby, it's
Yeah.
cold out there. I need my sweater, honey. Hold that door. And I'm thinking, like, did I just say that? Where the hell is my mother and my grandmother?
Yeah.
Who
We
said
are
that?
becoming them now.
Yes,
And
we
that's a
are
whole
them.
new thing to deal with and process and accept.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's different. It
it
definitely
is. It really is.
shifting in your 60s. I'll tell you one thing though. I am happy. I'm still here. I made it. I'm still
See
here.
what I mean?
You know what I mean? I could have been gone a long, long, long time ago, but I'm still here, and
Right.
and I'm grateful and thankful to God for that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have to be okay because we get into this, and for generations, the
Hmm.
generational trauma that takes place in our cities,
Okay.
it looks like we can't change. We're not allowed to change.
Okay.
We have to say this, as this is what we were told how we have to show up, or who we have to be. And so you get into this space where, because now in this space, we're becoming empty nesters, we're
Yeah.
grandmas, we're granddads,
Yeah.
people aren't living with us. And
Yes.
again, a lot of our childhood relationships we're finding are now in the grave.
Yeah.
And so now you're looking around, now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I'm 60 years old. I'm set in my ways.
Hmm.
What does relationships and friendships, well, romantic relationships look like now?
Hmm.
What do I need?
Yeah.
What do I need to feel seen, heard, and supported in
Yes.
this space in our lives? We're talking about financially, health
Yeah.
wise,
Definitely.
right? Because this is a new term I heard when I turned in the 60s. Uh, hospice wife.
Yeah.
Hospice.
Hospice wife. I never. Wow. A hospice wife. Whoa. Okay. What is that? What's a hospice
Okay.
wife?
A hospice wife or hospice husband is that one that, and I'm not saying everybody does this, but this is kind of the dynamic in this in our generation is
Okay.
a lot of us, but
Okay.
we want relationships. A lot of us aren't healthy, but we want these connections. And so you become this hospice spouse
Mm-hmm.
to somebody who is not doing well. And I'm not saying those have been married for 30, 40 years. And
Yeah.
even with that, you start to notice a lot of them are getting divorced. Why
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
there
That's
was a
crazy.
higher rate of divorce in our 50s, 60s now than it's ever been. This desire to stay committed when we get into this sixth decade of our life has started to change. But that
Mhm.
hospice wife was, it's like, well, you just want to marry me because you need me to take care of you.
Okay.
Or you wanted me to be in your space because now you need somebody to take care of you, to
Got
help you. And now here's the dynamic to that.
you. Okay.
There is truth to it. I
Okay.
don't want to die alone. What does it look like?
Definitely.
If I get 69, I'm healthy. What happens if I turn 65 and I become ill?
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
there was a lot of conversation that we need to feel comfortable in having when we're talking about this, especially
Mm-hmm.
when we come into this state of our lives. We have to have this conversation. What does it look
Definitely.
like?
Now, so we're having these conversations with ourselves, but we also should be having these conversations with our family, our children,
Hmm.
letting them know, hey, shift happens. We're
I'm
changing. I'm
shifting.
changing. The way I
Hmm.
see the world, the way I see you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's changing.
Yes. It
Yeah.
does. And it's supposed to
Okay.
because we've
Okay.
they are changing. And this world is changing all of us,
Wow.
right? How we're looking at things right now in our society. We are in such a space where we're looking at the loss of health care, we're looking at the loss of income, we're
Yes.
looking at the loss of jobs. What does that look like? And with many of us who are thinking about retiring,
Hmm.
there's a lot of us who can't.
Yeah. That's why you're seeing more older and older people, Walmart, Target, uh, wherever, helping out because they need that extra income for it. Most cases, be healthcare, or prescription.
Absolutely. Or
Yeah.
just at this juncture and today
Yeah.
in January 2026, it's just survive day to day.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
You
It's
know
the
what I
haves
mean?
and the
So
have not. It's the have and the have
yeah,
not.
listen, it is the crushing or the genocide of the middle class.
Hmm.
And that's who we are, and that's where we landed. Our
Okay.
generation landed. We are the middle class, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's this crushing and this genocide of it taking place. And so now we have to figure out how do we now show up in this dichotomy, in this environment, in this space where our feelings are being validated. We don't even know how we feel anymore. We've
Yeah.
lived in the thought process for so long. We've held on to generational trauma
Yes.
and drama and stress. So
Yes.
now we have to figure out how to release. We have individuals that have not healed their inner child. Now our inner child is to talk to us
Mm-hmm.
when we're having these moments where we don't know how to react or respond to something, and we go in and we respond in a way that we think is just what we do. That's
Okay.
how we behave. That's how we are. Is
Wow.
it really?
So, so, so us as black people or people of color, I hate saying black because we're not black. We're different shades of brown. Black
Mhm.
is a color. And back in the day, uh, we were known by our tribe, not by the color of our
Yes.
skin. With that being said, now that we're getting older, and we're dealing with shifting and changes. How am I like? How am I supposed to just keep having those conversations with myself?
Yes. Absolutely.
You
And
know?
a lot of times what happens is that we'll have these emotions come up, right? You could
Okay.
be sitting there and you'll be watching something and you'll get triggered. and you'll have a thought about something that happened in your past
Oh,
or
yes.
a past conversation
Yes.
or a past relationship, and you're start going through this anger or this sadness, however those emotions show up. For me, it was a lot of crying,
Hmm.
a lot of, oh my God, what have I done? I didn't do this right. Then I'm looking at my
Hmm.
kids, I'm thinking like, oh my God, I made that mistake. Why I made that
Hmm.
mistake over there? Where are my friends at? I remember when I lost my spouse back in
Okay.
2014, and it happened in March. By
Okay.
July, August, I'm looking around thinking, where the hell is everybody?
Hmm.
Right? And I was just coming into my 50s, my fifth decade of life. That 10-year, my 50s was my breaking year,
Okay.
my breaking decade. That was my transforming, shifting decade, was my 50s, that entire 10-year process. It was the point where there were times where I found myself personally on my bedroom floor in the closet, balled up in the fetal position,
Wow.
crying my eyeballs because I
Wow.
did not know who I was. I was trying to figure this stuff out. I'm like, well, what do I want in a relationship? And I didn't have nobody to talk to. I didn't feel like I was
Hmm.
being seen, heard, or supported.
Okay.
And I felt alone. I was afraid. I felt just this breaking internally and in my thought process. And I had to say, wait a minute, okay, what's happening? And many of us have not been given the given we don't give ourselves permission to feel our emotions,
Okay.
right?
Well,
We've
I'm
been
gonna say, as a man, most of us we're emotionally illiterate.
and this is what
We are.
happened. I'm gonna shift your mindset with that. As a man, this is what our men were told. Man, you better not cry. You
Yeah.
better not say anything. You better fuck up, boy. Who you
Yeah.
talking to? And you got laughed at if you
Yeah.
showed any emotions.
Yeah.
This is when you were younger. So
Yeah.
guess what you grow up believing? I
Yeah.
can't show any emotions because that means I'm a punk. That
Yeah.
means I'm weak. And
Definitely.
these were things that were told to us
Hmm.
by our parents, by
Yes.
our friends, by our
Society.
coaches. Right, society told us we're not like.
Definitely.
And then we grew up with things like this. What goes in our house stays in our house. You don't
Yeah.
tell
Oh
nobody
man.
what's going
I
on in your
Yes,
house,
I
right?
talked about all that on one of my episodes before.
Right? Then we
Mhm.
were taught you can't teach old dogs new tricks.
Somebody just said that to me earlier today. I tell you, my cousin said that to me earlier today.
But here's the thing: when you told me that back then,
Hmm.
guess what now happens in my 60s?
Yes.
I'm afraid to learn anything new
No. Definitely.
because you told me that when I get older, I'm not allowed to learn anything and I
But,
could
but,
never
but
learn
that's a
anything.
form. That's a form of indoctrination too.
Hello, that generational trauma
Definitely. Definitely. And I'm
absolutely
pretty
is.
sure our parents and our grandparents and our great parents, they didn't mean no harm.
No,
They didn't.
they
I think
didn't.
they were just doing what they were taught and what they knew.
They could only give us what was in them. And
Definitely.
that's a generational
Definitely.
DNA right there, right? Just what you said. That was a belief system that generationally we felt like we were required to
Hmm.
hold on to and keep. And so now, which is why now when we get into our 60s, we're afraid to change. We're afraid to talk about, I don't want to do this no more.
No.
Listen, even in your belief systems when it comes to spirituality and church and religion,
Yeah, mine is just
I
changing
want to step
every
on
day.
my water.
Every day, mine is changing every day. I hate to say that, but
Don't hate. No, see, this is what I want you not to.
let me. I'm going to rephrase that. I'm embracing it. I'm like, it's changing the way I see it, the way I feel about it, how I look at it, what I want
Yeah.
from it.
Yes,
You know what I
right?
mean? It's changing. It definitely is.
And it's supposed to change. And that's the thing that we were told we were not allowed to change.
Hmm.
We call it the traditions of the men.
Yeah,
That's how your grandmother was. That's how your mama was. That's how your great grandmother
yeah.
was.
I remember
You're
hearing that.
just right. And so
Remember.
you now have linked me, and you have in what's what I'm looking for. You have chained me to
Yeah,
this belief, behavior, and habits that you said I have to do.
Gotcha.
So then when I start talking about, well, wait a minute, that don't resonate with me anymore. Don't I don't like doing that. I don't like thinking like that. I don't
Definitely.
even want to talk like that. I'm
Mhm.
tired of feeling like this.
Definitely.
Right? We
So
are
so
going to have
so
that
so
conversation.
shift is going to happen whether I want it to or not, right?
Listen,
Right.
boom,
So
boom,
so it's going to happen whether I can't
yes,
control it, I can't stop it. There's nothing I
yes,
can do. It's going to happen. So I have to accept that fact.
yeah.
So
Be
the best
okay
thing.
with being
So what's the
okay. And
best? So what's the best advice you would give to someone? You know, people are stubborn. I'm not going to change. I don't care about shifting. I don't care about none of that. I'm me. This is who I am.
you, my first thing is, a lot of that comes from fear of rejection,
Okay.
especially from family.
Okay.
Because we say that because ultimately we don't want to be looked at as, there you go. This is not what we do. You're afraid of the
Yeah.
rejection
Yeah.
and being becoming the black sheep in your,
Yes.
like, what's wrong with them? They crazy. Like all that type of
Yeah.
wording and labeling on us. And that's not fair to us.
Yeah.
We have to be okay with one not being okay.
Definitely.
Be
I see.
okay with acknowledging your feelings and your emotions and really have that conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we have been told to do, and this is what we've done forever,
Mm-hmm.
is we'll hear something, and then the first thing we do is we get on the phone and be like, oh, ooh, guess what? Let me have this conversation with you. And, da, da, da.
Yeah.
And we start talking to people about things that are happening within us, looking for answers from them.
Gotcha.
And we don't look for answers from within us. Your emotions are trying to tell you and talk
Okay.
to you. A lot of times we shut down because we're told we're not allowed to say anything. And because we were raised with the belief system that what goes on in our house stays in our house,
Mm-hmm.
guess what we don't talk about now?
What?
We don't talk about our feelings. We
Yeah.
don't talk about our emotions. We
That's
don't
right.
talk about our fears, our anxieties, and our concerns because we don't want to be labeled as old and cantankerous and whatever. And see, that's what I'm talking about. And what's wrong
Definitely.
with you? And
Definitely.
made to feel bad because we want to change our minds.
Gotcha. So is it okay to, like, while you're shifting and you're recognizing that you're shifting and that you're changing, is it okay to just want to be by yourself for a minute?
Yeah, you have to be.
You know?
This is what happens. Listen, when we're talking about shifting and changing in our emotional, mental, and especially our spiritual space, you're going to have a who was that went on the backside of the desert. You're going
Okay.
to have that moment. You need it.
Okay.
God will pull you away and shut you off in order to begin to deal with you and allow you to deal with yourself.
Okay.
People believe that when we're shifting and changing and transforming, it has to be loud and noisy and seen and all of that. No, it's quiet moments. It's isolating yourself so that you can work on yourself. That's
Okay.
okay.
And
It's
and, and it's okay to seek help, to, you know what I mean, to get
absolutely,
counseling, therapy, whatever, whatever you
absolutely.
want to call it.
Yes,
I talk about that a lot on my podcast. You know, big on mental health
yes,
and stuff like that, and especially in our community, it's like a taboo. You know, people are like,
yes.
you need to talk to somebody, or why not?
Because remember what we were told, what goes
Yeah.
on in the house stays in the house. Now you just brought it right back to the point, and that's why we struggle because we were told and trained that you better not ever say anything outside this house. Boy, you don't do something, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Definitely.
Shut up, shut up, shut up.
So we can tell them now, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody.
Talk.
You
I
know,
mean, scream it out loud if you have to,
and
but
another
please
thing
talk.
I say too, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be
Oh
afraid
God, please and
to
thank
be
you.
you, whoever
Yes.
that is. Be
But
you.
here's the thing. What happens is we don't know who we are, which is
Yeah,
why we start this journey.
definitely.
And
Because
that's been and
yeah,
that's
because I had an
that's
episode. Not to cut you off, I had an episode where I talked about purpose,
mhm.
and that's something I think a lot of people struggle. What is my purpose? Why am I
We don't
here?
know.
What am I supposed to do?
We don't
Am I,
know.
what is it? What is it, God? What, and we struggle with that. I've told,
Yeah.
I always try to keep it a beam. I'm 60 years old and I still don't know what my purpose is. I'm
Yes,
still trying to
you
figure it out.
do. You're living it. You're living it right now. You're
You know what I'm
creating a
saying?
platform to
Yeah,
have the conversation,
yeah, definitely, definitely.
right? And it looks different for everybody, but you
Mm,
are so like a billion% correct on that.
mm.
It is. And here's a question: why do we get to be 60s and we don't know what our purpose is?
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
What happened?
Something there's a disconnect, something somewhere. I don't
Because
want to blame it on religion. I don't want to blame it on church. I
no,
don't want to blame it on family. I
no.
don't want to blame it on the white man. I don't want to blame it on life. Something happened somewhere.
Well, we were brought up in this space of we show up for the needs of others.
Yes.
We show up in school and we conform to the need of that environment because I
Hmm.
need that environment. So I got to adjust who I am in order to be successful in that environment. We get into
Definitely.
our workspace. We show up
Yeah.
for our boss. We do
Hmm.
for them, forgetting who we are. So by the time we get into this space,
Hmm.
because we've given so much of ourselves to everybody else,
Yes.
we don't know how to show up for us.
Definitely.
And that's why, like you said, we come in this space and we're figuring out, like, oh, so what is my purpose?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to be doing? Or what can I or should I be doing right now? Because what I was doing isn't satisfying me anymore.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's having conversations. We have to be able to feel not feel afraid to speak our truth. I say I stay influence, and
Hmm.
it's not a what, it's why.
Why? Because from
Yeah,
this talking, from our second conversation, I get from you a sense that you've been through it,
I have.
and now you're on the other side,
Yeah.
and you're not bagging, not bragging or boasting, but you're just letting people know, hey, I'm here.
I'm here,
I'm a
and it
champion. I'm a fighter.
yeah, yeah.
I
And I
reinvented
don't even want to say the word. This word survivor.
Yeah. Mm,
It constricts my throat
I got you.
because it it kind of keeps me boxed in to always having to fight.
Got you. Like the
Right. I mean,
victim. I'm a victim.
right, right,
Yeah.
right, 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 right.
The victim
Um,
mentality.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And isn't that crazy how that
Yeah.
flip just that quick?
Yeah.
See what I
Definitely.
mean? That
Definitely.
right there. That
Definitely.
shifting in thought process.
Definitely.
And so I said, I'm thriving. I've healed my inner child. There's,
Hmm.
and I'm still healing. I'm
Okay.
still going on my healing journey. We're always going to be on our healing journey, but I am celebrating the work that I have done, and I'm
Okay.
showing up authentically, and I'm allowing my voice to be heard. For me, my trauma was at 5 years old in kindergarten. My kindergarten preschool teacher put tape over my mouth.
Wow.
I was 5. Guess what that told 15-year-old Nicole and 20-year-old Nicole and 30-year-old Nicole? Not allowed to talk. My
Yeah.
voice is never going to be
And
important.
no
My
voice.
words never be seen or heard. I'm not going to. I'm not safe. I can't
Hmm.
ask for help because you put this over my mouth,
Hmm.
right? And this is from a teacher, and she
Wow.
did it at the class. So
That had
all
to
of my
traumatize you. That had
classmates,
to traumatize you. I know it did.
it was traumatic.
Yeah.
Though, watch this. I was a bodybuilder. I'm a 4-time pageant beauty queen title holder.
Hmm.
I competed. I teach. I do
Hmm.
all of this, but I still felt like internally that I was not being heard,
Wow.
and I had
Because
to
of that.
heal that.
Because of that.
Yep,
That moment.
yep. It
That
stood
action
that
by that teacher that was so inappropriate, so
traumatized me.
disrespectful.
Yep,
From that moment, even though you've done other things, you still felt like your voice wasn't
yep.
being heard. Wow.
I would there was times where I would literally feel like my throat was being like this, and
Wow.
I was being suffocated.
Hmm.
And I was going through my healing journey at this point, but I would feel, and I was in a relationship, and it was a toxic one, but I was in a relationship, but whenever I would try to talk, to share who I am, I was always, I would just be real quiet. and I would just say things, and I would be afraid to share my
Mhm.
emotions, be afraid to share my feelings. What's wrong with you? Nothing. You
Gotcha.
are, yeah, I'm good. Meanwhile, I'm falling apart internally.
Gotcha. Is
That's
it hard to share when you're shifting? Is it hard to share that with your significant other?
it. It is because a lot of times it's hard if they don't understand this type of conversation.
Okay.
If they don't create a safe space to say, listen, I'm, we're not doing a blame game here.
Okay.
It's not about fault. It's
Yeah.
about transformation.
Okay.
And it's about having that honest conversation. If you're married, you're going to have the honest conversation. What does your sex life now look like?
Yeah.
What do you need from your spouse in your 60s that you did not need in your 30s?
Gotcha.
Or is it the same thing, the thing that you would be stealing from them in your 30s and 40s and 50s, do you need it now in your 60s?
Hmm.
What does that look like? Being okay and shifting how you show up for each other, how you talk to each other, how you embrace one another. What is your new love language?
Yeah. Definitely.
Right? And we don't have those conversations anymore.
No,
We're
we don't.
afraid.
But we should.
We absolutely should. And it's okay to have this
Yeah.
because then you feel refreshed. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, whew. Now we've had this conversation.
Now
You
let's
heard
work on
me.
it.
Yeah,
Let's
now let's work together. Yep.
let's work
Yep.
on it.
Yeah, let's work on it. And however that looks, and it looks different for everybody. But
Yeah.
the most important thing is to have the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you got to have it with yourself first,
Yeah, with yourself first.
and
And
then have
and
it.
be okay with not being okay. There's gonna be many nights that you're not gonna feel okay with you.
Okay.
And that's a good thing because now that means when you're having those emotional feelings and you're starting to feel that anger or the depression or the
Hmm.
stress, sadness or the anxiety, whatever it is that's showing up in your, you want
Yeah.
to name it. Like the other day, I was laying down and I just started crying. Like
Hmm.
tears just started welling in my eyes. I was okay. Why am I having this emotional? Like, what is this? What's happening with me? And
Hmm.
I realized that I was dealing with some anxiety and some stress in my personal space, right? Because things are shifting there.
Got
Economically, things are shifting. I'm looking at
you.
how can I show up in this environment now when things are changing so drastically. Um, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? What does it mean to be a
Yeah.
business person? What is you know what I mean? In our 60s, we're having
Yeah.
these new ideas. What does that look
Yeah,
like?
because things are shifting for you with Fred. You got the book,
Yeah,
premiere, interviews.
right?
You guys are blowing up.
And I'm loving it. And it's like, how do we show up in that? How do
Yeah,
I show up in that space? And Robin and Mick and Kendra would tell you, it was
definitely.
like, oh my God, Nicole, I was so quiet. Though
Hmm.
though my words will have a huge impact and
Hmm.
a life changing impact,
Yeah.
I was afraid to speak it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because
so
I would love to
continue.
interview all three of you. Your
Oh my
book.
God, I will bring them on. Yeah, absolutely. You got it.
Definitely. I
Say,
definitely
say
would
less.
talk
Say
about
less.
shift
Let's get together and
happen.
talk about, yeah.
Shift
Yes.
happen. Because all
Yes.
three of you wrote it, right?
Yes, we did. We collectively wrote it. There's three chapters in this book.
Okay.
So you have one that is from you'll see Kendra first. I can't see my thing, but Kendra wrote it first. Her first chapter. She's first. Excuse me, because she's in
Okay.
her 40s. Robin's in her 50s, and I'm in my 60s.
Okay.
So yeah, and each of us are shifting, but it's showing up differently.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's okay too.
Definitely. So
Talk about menopause, andropause. What does your body look like,
no, wait a
right?
minute. I read an article somewhere that men go through menopause too.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. It's
It's not different. It's not different. Here's the thing, men, you guys go through the same things we go through. It's in your mindset. Your body changes.
yes.
Your hormones change. Your sex drive changes.
Yes.
So does ours. Okay? You know, how we perceive
Definitely.
relationships. That
Definitely. Yeah.
right? So, but my brothers and my men and my kings, you guys, your emotions have been suppressed for
Yes.
so long,
Yes.
for years, generations, and
Yeah.
decades.
Yes.
You've been told you are not allowed to show emotions.
Yes.
And so you stay in your masculine energy
Yes.
But emotion is part of your feminine side. And it
Now,
doesn't mean you're a woman. It just means you have this feminine energy that will allow you to have these emotions.
uh, I'm a guest on a podcast tomorrow. It's
Mhm.
called Slim Soul Connection. She said something to me last year that kind of threw me. She said men are more emotional, but we go about it logically,
Yeah,
and
you
women are
do.
more logical, but you go about it more emotionally. Is that true?
There is truth to that. Absolutely. So
Mm,
I said this way. Um, Men, you stay in your masculine energy, right? And
mhm.
so the feminine side of you, feminine side of all of us, because I have a masculine side
Yeah,
as well,
definitely. Yeah,
right? So the feminine side of you gets suppressed. You don't show your emotions.
yeah.
As women in our feminine energy, when we got into the workforce,
Mhm.
we were told we have to be masculine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So now you put me in this masculine energy, which honestly, I can't be emotional.
Hmm.
But you want a feminine energy type of woman.
Definitely.
So we're clashing because now we're topsy turvy. Like we feel like we're losing our minds. Like, well, wait a minute. Am I supposed to be feminine? Am I supposed to be masculine?
Yeah,
Okay, well, if I
definitely.
show up in this energy to get the
Yeah,
work done,
yeah,
then when I try to talk about my emotions, this words you say, you're just too emotional.
definitely.
What's wrong
So,
with you?
so that's kind
Oh,
of true. So, if you're coming home and your spouse is already home and you're on your way home, so you have to say, "Who am I talking to when I walk in the door?"
yep,
You know what I mean? What
yeah,
hat am I putting on? What
yeah,
space am I going to be in? You
yeah.
know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, and
Wow.
you feel okay in showing up in that space, even if it's one that is I'm not going to use the word toxic because
Hmm.
that's not what it is. But and though we have some of that too, but
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're showing up, it's like, okay, who am I right now in this moment? Who do I want to be in this?
Gotcha.
If I need to be a little girl and just cry because it's this heavy. You know, life is lifing and it's heavy. And
Hmm.
I don't want to carry this weight and it's showing up in backache and body aches and our
Hmm.
hips are hurting, right? A
Gotcha.
lot of times when we get into our 50s and 60s, you know why we have so much hip pain and back
Mm.
pain? It's because we have so much stress
Oh, wow.
and we
It
don't know
makes
how to
sense.
release it. That stress will show up
It
as
makes
back
sense.
aches,
Hmm.
body aches.
Hmm.
Your hips are hurting, right?
Hmm.
You get up and you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's not always arthritis.
Gotcha.
A lot of it sometimes is stress.
Definitely. Yeah, stress will take you out of here.
Listen,
It'll definitely take you out
I'm
of here.
just it shifts everything. It shifts how your hair looks, it shifts your skin, it
Mhm,
shifts your eating habits, your
mhm,
sleep habits. When we get into that space of anxiety, and a
mhm.
lot of times we're already in it. We just realize that's what we're in
Got
because we've been showing up for everybody else in order to get things done.
definitely.
But when you sit back and really start looking at where you are in your emotional space,
Mhm,
it becomes a very fearful conversation because your reality and your desires aren't aligned.
mhm.
And you don't and you said it yourself. It's like, I'm in my sixties now, I don't know what my purpose is.
Yeah, definitely.
And that
That's
becomes
scary,
fearful.
and it's scary.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's scary, but it's scary in one sense, but it's also like it's giving you something to look forward to. Like what's coming? You know?
So here is this. When we come into this space, I encourage my clients when I keynote speak, you want to lean in to that curiosity. I go in curious. Like you
Mhm,
said, I want to know, well, wait a minute. Hold up. Now, if candles and perfume make me nauseous, then
mhm.
what does my body want? Oh,
Gotcha.
I like oils.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm
Gotcha.
cool with that. Um, what do I need to feel fulfilled in my eating, right?
Mhm.
Um, I don't eat some things I used to eat no more. Chocolate, I used to love chocolate. Now I'm being mindful of that. You
Gotcha.
know, I don't I may want to have a hamburger. I'm okay with that, right? So there's this it's allowing ourselves to honor what our
Mhm,
bodies are telling us. If I need to, like you asked me this morning, just when we came on, you said, How was your day today? What did
Yeah.
I tell you I did all day today?
Yeah. Rest, chilling.
I rested the
Rest.
entire, literally the entire day. I
Yeah.
was on my couch. I we took two naps. I ate what I wanted. I drank my water. I drank some tea. I drank some hot lemon water. I
Definitely.
did these things that was satisfying to me.
Definitely.
And I got off of my electronics. I
Mhm.
wasn't on my cell phone. I wasn't scrolling down. And that's another thing we do.
I-
We
I'm
take,
I'm glad you brought that up before we get out of here.
yes, sir.
When do we when do we have to say, put down your phones, put down your iPads, put down your laptops, put down all your electronic device and just chill and just hug a tree, you know, put your
Okay.
feet,
How about this?
earthing,
Hug
you know,
yourself.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Give yourself a hug and be like, listen, we have to be okay with disconnecting.
Definitely.
You're not going to miss anything. I would say the world's not going to end, but listen, this here chicken little.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
You
hope
never
not.
know.
Right. I do. I have done a news blackout. I have not watched the news in almost a day. Like I will
Wow.
not sit on the TV and watch the news.
Gotcha.
I just I'll get news information when I need it,
Hmm.
but I don't want to take that into my spirit. I don't want to take that energy in, right? We have to allow ourselves to say, today I'm just going to do me. We get so afraid to disconnect,
Hmm.
feeling like we're going to either miss something or we're going to be rejected because we're no longer connected.
The little research I've done, there's a thing called what is it called? Collective stupidity. Uh,
Okay.
and they said critical thinking is dying
It is.
because of
It
and one
is.
of the reasons why they say is because of how information is traveling. We weren't Our
Yes, sir.
brains weren't meant to handle information like that.
We're getting
Wasn't
information overload.
overload. We weren't meant to
Yeah.
process it like that. And so
Yes.
because of that, it says we're getting collective stupidity. So in other words, if I post something on social media and I get a million likes, it doesn't matter what it is, it must be true. Collective stupidity.
But what if you post
And
something?
nobody questions anything anymore. Nobody questions the source. Nobody questions
No.
who said it, what was said, how it was said. As long as it got a million likes, it must be true.
And that's very interesting that we desire the approval of others
We do.
in order to speak our truth.
Yes. It's
I
crazy.
don't need your approval.
That's
I'm speaking
crazy, but it's
my
true.
truth. I don't need you to approve my truth.
Hmm.
When I'm talking, I'm sharing information that I've experienced. And
Okay.
I know that so many of us have experienced. You share information that we are experiencing as a
Definitely.
culture, as a nation,
Hmm.
as a society. We
Hmm.
are. And it's being okay that if you receive it, if you can hear it, because many of us hear through the ears of our trauma,
Ooh,
and
I
we
like
see through the eyes of our trauma.
I like that.
So it's very difficult for us to have this information exchange because if I'm speaking from my healed space,
Hmm.
you're hearing me from your trauma space.
Definitely. I'm going to ask you one last question before we get out of here. I think
Yes.
something that you wrote. You said the only karma I wish for people who did me wrong is to let them meet themselves in someone else.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Oftentimes, you have experienced it. We all do this. Here's the key. You reap what you sow.
Yeah,
What goes around comes around,
definitely.
right?
Yeah,
Now you're in that space where we're starting to reap some of the things that we've sown.
definitely.
And when karma comes around, it's like I said, the one relationship I was in my 50s for 10 years. I was a safe space. I'm an empath. I love love. I love being in relationships. I love to
Mhm.
heal. I'm a healer. But I was love bombing this individual and they could not take it because they did not know how to receive love.
Gotcha.
Right. So then it's this dichotomy and this battling that's taking place. And
Mm-hmm.
so now what's getting ready to happen is the way you treat others as you would have them treat you. Do
Definitely.
unto others, you have them to do unto you. It's
Okay.
all of those things we said when we was growing up, they're now coming to fruition.
Okay.
And they are. It's going to happen. You've sown. Listen, the church has told us, your words have power. There's life and death
Yeah.
in the power of your tongue. That
Yes.
is scriptural and that is true.
Yes, it
And
is.
so now you're coming back around and those seeds are starting to come up and you're starting to reap that. And it's not all bad. You're reaping good seeds instead of mine.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna happen. So I want you to meet that person
Definitely.
that's like you, and we all do.
Hmm.
Somebody's gonna mirror who you are to you.
Okay.
That's gonna happen. Yeah.
Definitely.
We say it in our kids, right? This is what we tell our children. You
Yeah.
act just like.
Yeah. Definitely. Gotcha.
Right.
So before we get out of there, is there anything you'd like to say?
I just want to say, to your audience, first of all, I'm going to say to you, thank you so much for this opportunity to share this
You're welcome.
about shift happening.
Thank you
And I
for
just
coming
want
on.
to tell the listener, listen, it's okay. You are seen in this space, you are heard, and you are truly supported. And have the conversation. And if you're afraid to have the conversation, uh, then you don't have to talk out loud. Start writing things down, but be
Come on.
honest. Let your emotions tell you your truth, and trust your intuition. It will never lead you wrong. Trust.
I believe that too. I really, you guys heard that, man. You guys heard that. We had our special guest on, Nicole. Thank you for being here. Thank you
Thank you for
for
having me.
telling us about shift happens, even though I want to keep saying shit happens. I
Listen,
really do.
shit
I
happens.
want to, and I'm looking forward to interviewing all three of you guys. That's Kendra.
Absolutely.
Am I saying that?
Kendra, Robin, and
Kendra and
myself,
Robin
yes.
and
Yeah,
yourself.
so
Both.
I will put us into a chat, and
Got you.
then we can schedule the time, and I'm sure
Definitely.
they will be
Got
absolutely
you.
ready to have this conversation.
Definitely.
Yes.
So, hey, thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us
Thank you
your
for having
expertise.
me.
Thank you for sharing your experiences, your passion, your thoughts, your energy, and all that. I love it. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a
Uh,
pleasure.
that's ready to get out. Let's wrap this thing up. You guys know what I always say: be true to yourself, be true to him, walk with purpose, and more importantly, walk with love. This is Tiger from 106. Keep it a bean. I love you guys. I'm out. Thank you, Nicole.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's hit this button. Here we go.